Hello, my name's Mike Hobbs, and my pronouns are he and him. I'm going to tell you a story about how being out and proud means so much, and how social media during a time of pandemic like this really can be a lifesaver. I told my dad I was gay in 1987. Nobody told their parents they were gay in 1987. Am I crazy? No. I just promised myself I'd never lie to my father. Well, but I didn't know how to do it. So I asked my friend Larry. He said, "Michael, are you sure?" I'm like, "Larry, I'm not going to lie to Dad. How did you tell your parents?" He said, "Well, Michael, I told them I got the lead in Cabaret." That about said it all. And it did. Well, I told my dad, and he and my stepmother were amazing about it. They invited I and my boyfriend over to dinner that very night. And it was great. Made me feel so loved and accepted. And then, about 2 weeks later, Dad called, and he said, "Son, is there some support group you'd like me to join?" I'm like, "Dad, it's called PFLAG, but no, you don't have to if you don't want to." But that's Dad. And over the years, Dad has made me feel so accepted and loved for being out and open and proud of who I am. Well, time passes. People change. People fade. About 2 years ago, we had to put my father in a memory care facility over in Ohio. And every 2 weeks or so, I go over to see him. And every single solitary time, he'd introduce me to the caregiver and he'd go, "This is my son, Michael. He's gay." And he'd puff himself up and dare them to say anything. Every single time. That's my dad. I mean, I'd met these people dozens of times at least. "This is my son, Michael. He's gay." But, I mean, probably hundreds of times. But that's my dad. Made me feel so loved about who I am. Well, as some of you know, a couple days before Christmas, my dad died of COVID. And my heart fell out. It hurt more than I could ever say, because he was my dad, and I loved him. And he was so proud and accepting of me and loved me. I know that, but my heart hurt. And so when I put the announcement out on social media, Facebook lit up. Hundreds of people came through. They were all telling me what a wonderful person my dad was, and how much he loved me, and how much he respected me for being out and proud of who I am. Hundreds of people. And it just warmed me, filled that hole here that had formed when he'd passed. And then there were the stories that people were telling of him. Lots of wonderful, loving stories. But you know what the one most people told me was? "I went to see your dad in the nursing home a couple of weeks ago." And you know what he said to me? He said, "Well, Michael was here last week. You remember Michael, don't you? He's gay." Every single person said that. It was wonderful, because my dad was so accepting and loving about me being out and proud. Well, I know one day I'm going to see my father again. And when I do, I'm going to go up to him. I'm going to say, "Hey, Dad, how are you?" And he's going to look at me and he's going to go, "Michael, I love you. You're gay, and I'm proud of you." Because that's my dad.